You've probably heard of WhatsApp, the messaging app that's taken the world by storm. But do you know the incredible story behind its creation? WhatsApp was founded by Jan Koum and Brian Acton, two former employees of Yahoo. Although the duo founded WhatsApp, Jan Koum was the brain behind it, triggered by his personal experiences. At its conception, there was no way to send messages between different mobile platforms. So they built their own platform that would allow users to communicate with each other regardless of their phone type. The app took off like wildfire, and within a few years had reached more than 1 billion users. Facebook acquired it in 2014 for a staggering $19 billion. This is an amazing story of innovation and perseverance, and it's a lesson in the power of ingenuity and determination. How Jan Koum and Brian Acton created WhatsApp. As of June 2022 in India, the number of WhatsApp business downloads was 291.58 million, while the global download was 2.44 billion. So how did two unknown guys create one of the most popular messaging apps in the world? You're about to hear the story. All of it. It all started with a simple idea: to create a messaging app that was simple and fast. But let's talk about Koum's background in a jiffy. Jan Koum's background: living in poverty. The interesting thing about Jan's story is that the Mountain View office, which was only a few blocks from where Jan and his family went to collect food stamps, now houses his company office. Was he that poor? Jan Koum was born and grew up in a small village outside of Kyiv in Ukraine, the only child of a housewife and construction manager. Koum's family was extremely poor and struggled to make ends meet. Unfortunately, the harsh environment of the communist regime didn't help, as they barely had a mind of their own. Every area of their lives was under the strict control of the totalitarian government. After the end of communism in Eastern Europe in 1992, Jan, 16, his mother and grandmother left Ukraine for America to begin a new life. They were able to secure a 2-bedroom apartment through the government social support program. Life didn't become any better for Jan and his mom in California. Jan's mother took up a babysitting job to make ends meet, while Jan worked as a janitor in a grocery store. 5 years after their migration to America, Jan lost his father, who hoped to join his family in America. While they were still trying to get the hang of the tragedy, Jan's mom was diagnosed with cancer, which later took her life. Poor Jan was left to face life all by himself. Business career. How WhatsApp started. It's often said that your pain point indicates the problem you're born to solve. This may not always be true for everyone, but in Jan's case, this saying seemed true. As a persistent teenager, Jan would go to the bookstore to borrow some books and return them after reading. At this time, he was doing odd jobs to make ends meet. By the time Jan clocked 18, he was already skilled in network engineering. Luckily for him, his skill landed him a job at Ernst & Young as a security tester. This new job was the umbrella that brought Jan Koum and Brian Acton, a Yahoo engineer, together, and fortunately, they clicked. Koum enrolled at college to study math and computer science, but soon dropped out to work for David File, a co-founder at Yahoo. Jan and Brian got fed up with their jobs. You know that feeling of, this job sucks. That was it. And so the duo quit their job. Sometimes you should listen to that feeling. It may be a new horizon knocking at the door. After Jan and Brian quit their jobs in 2007, they headed to South America for a full-year adventure. During this time, they both applied for jobs at Facebook, but were turned down. Jan Koum conceived the idea of WhatsApp in 2009 at his friend Alex Fishman's place, triggered by his early years' experiences. As a low-income family in a communist society, they didn't have access to phones and so couldn't communicate with long-distance family and friends. Jan thought about a low-cost solution to the communication challenges that poor families suffer. More so, he recently acquired an iPhone and realized that the phone could house many applications. He came up with the idea of a cross-platform messaging application with a simple interface that could provide convenient communication. He shared his idea with Alex, who bought into it. Jan roped Brian into the project, and they began putting minds together. Alex Fishman helped them contact a Russian developer to develop the front end of the messaging app. That was how WhatsApp came to be. It was incorporated on February 24, 2009, on Jan's birthday. However, the early version of the app wasn't coming through and kept crashing. This became a cause for concern for the two young entrepreneurs. However, with the monopoly the application enjoyed at that time, the active user base continued to grow in leaps and bounds. By February 2013, WhatsApp had over 200 million active users and Jan and Brian were able to acquire more venture capital. WhatsApp soon attracted the social media giant Facebook, and in February 2014, Facebook acquired it. WhatsApp has become one of the most popular communication platforms with over 1 billion users. Coombe and Acton were both motivated by a desire to build something that was really useful and would make people's lives easier. And they were willing to put in the hard work to make their dream a reality. No ads, no games, no gimmicks. How did WhatsApp make its money? How WhatsApp took over the world. It's quite strange that at a time advertisement was the major revenue stream for most messaging apps, WhatsApp insisted on operating without revenue. How then were they able to pay bills? For the two former Yahoo engineers, WhatsApp was not a business, but rather an application to help people stay in touch with their loved ones seamlessly. In a blog post by Jan Koum titled, "Why We Don't Sell Ads," Jan explained that his goal was democratized phone-based communication. He wouldn't want people to taste his experience in Soviet Ukraine. As such, WhatsApp will operate according to 3 rules: no ads, no games, and no gimmicks. WhatsApp would not carry advertising. It's not created to give the rich an avenue to exploit the masses. It would not store messages and thus jeopardize the citizens' privacy, and focus on pure, hitchless communication to users. Jan pinned a note with these rules written boldly in their work desk to keep them on task. They stuck to the seed funding they received from their rich friends at Yahoo and tried as much as they could to keep expenses at their barest minimum. However, as the WhatsApp community grew, more features needed to be added to the messaging app. The business also needed more hands, practically a team to work with. After much brainstorming, Jan and Brian devised a financing idea of charging users an annual $1 fee. Although users were not compelled to pay this fee, it was more like a voluntary contribution to help grow the business. The idea was to take advantage of the network effect. You know how that works. The more people using the instant messaging application, the more money comes in. 50 million users pay $1 each, and the company has $50 million. They planned to thoroughly work on the application and add more intriguing features to attract more users and then more money. Fortunately, the $1 fee financing idea was a blockbuster, and many users complied with the idea. Not surprising, though, that was nothing compared to the value the application offered. But of course, the funds generated from the paid version of WhatsApp could only cater to the business's bills. Jan and Brian didn't see it as a big deal. They were more focused on providing a solution for the masses. The rapidly growing WhatsApp user base soon became bait for savvy investors who offered to inject huge cash into the business. Jan and his business partner Brian turned down many venture capitals due to their strict no ads policy. However, Sequoia's Jim Getz convinced the duo that he would play according to their rules, no ads. They accepted Sequoia's $8 million investment offer. The duo bought the investment idea and began seeking investors who could help them scale the business. Brian Acton was at the forefront of the search for investors and pulled many of their former colleagues to invest in the company, about $250,000. Meanwhile, Koum was tirelessly working to improve the app's functionality to give users the best experience. They used the money generated to upgrade the company's office space, expand its staff, make vital fixes, provide new features, and the number of users grew exponentially. Their hard work, dedication, and persistence soon paid off, and the money started flowing in. Selling to Facebook. As WhatsApp users grew dramatically, more investors were throwing huge notes of dollars into the business to further grow the company. By February 2013, WhatsApp boasted around 200 million active users, drawing the attention of the social media giant Facebook. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg started extending a hand of friendship to Koum. Their first meeting was over coffee at Los Altos, and the relationship continued to grow. By 2014, Mark Zuckerberg came out with his intention to buy WhatsApp and offered its co-founders a mouth-watering sum of $19 billion. This offer seemed to be one that WhatsApp founders could not resist, so they sold off the platform to Mark Zuckerberg. This raised a lot of dust, and people didn't get the picture clear from the angle of the two parties. First, why would Mark care about a business that, in the last 9 months before its sale, only made $1.2 million in revenue? Second, Jan Koum and Brian Acton strongly disapprove of the major principles that sail Facebook's boat. For the co-founders, monetization of the application was a no-no. The poor needed to have equal access to the platform as the rich. On the flip side, it was no secret that Facebook was the ad king. They collected people's data, used them to create personalized ads, and put them in your face at any opportunity. Talk about privacy. Mark Zuckerberg was recuperating from a privacy breach scandal. To clear people's whys, Zuckerberg asserts that the messaging application has a strategic value that they could explore, and the app is worth over $19 billion. Also, Mark Zuckerberg promised WhatsApp founders that there could be zero pressure to monetize the app, and it'll run independently of Facebook. Along the line, however, Acton and Yan, who were initially around Facebook for a few years, had to leave the company over issues of advertising and users' privacy protection. These two principles were the core beliefs upon which WhatsApp was founded. They couldn't shoot themselves in the leg, obviously. The story of these two young men is that of vision and determination. And with these powerful tools, they were able to turn WhatsApp into the global empire it is today. It didn't look like it at first. They just wanted a way to stay in touch while at college. But then, as more and more people joined the train, they realized the potential for it to be much bigger. And they were right. WhatsApp has now been downloaded over 1 billion times and is used by people worldwide. So what was the key to their success? A lot of it had to do with their focus on simplicity and usability. They avoided all the complicated bells and whistles and instead focused on creating a messaging platform that was easy to use and understand. And that's something that has resonated with people all over the world.